Hello again and welcome to another Black Templar Friday! Oh, it has been a while since we have done one of these videos. It has been a very, very long time. I think I missed 2 Fridays in a row with Black Templar Friday. So, first things first, I apologise to all of my loyal Black Templar followers and other subscribers who look forward to the Black Templar Friday. Basically, the reasons for not really putting anything up is I haven't had another battle with my Black Templars in the last couple of weeks. I have been focused very much on painting and the hobby aspect. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, where I'm up to, what I've built, what I've painted, what I've finished, what I've got left to do, what direction I'm going to go in with the army. But yeah, it's going to be a nice, as always, sort of bit of a disclaimer. This is a nice, relaxed video, stream of consciousness. It's going to be all over the place. There's no structure or anything. It's just whatever pops into my head. Most of it will be Black Templar focused, but there'll be some non-Black Templar stuff in there as well. Maybe. I don't know. It's just wherever the video takes me. So there we go. Yeah. So, what have I been doing? Well, at the beginning of August, I'm recording this video on Sunday the 3rd of September, so obviously it's going to be sort of a week before it comes out. But at the beginning of August, I got involved in the Nightfall event on the Bolter and Chainsword forum. So what the Nightfall event is something I'm completely new to. I've only just signed up to the Bolter and Chainsword recently. It's quite a niche community of Black Templar players on there, but it seems a really nice bunch of guys. I'm quite enjoying typing away on there. But basically, one of the long-standing members there, one of the long-standing members there runs an event called Nightfall. And what it is, it's basically a painting pledge. You have to do a vow as part of being a Black Templar. You do a vow, and if you complete the vow, then that's great. But if you don't complete the vow, you have to wear a mark of shame. So, in this case, if I read the vow out, this is what I had to say. It was, I, Mordian Glory, hereby vow the aid of models to the Eternal Crusade before the Night of the Witch. I enter with the mark of the Neophyte and will emerge glorious as an initiate by the Crusade's end, as a true brother of the Black Templars. Should I fail in my duties, I will wear the mark of failure until the year's end, that all may know my sin. So essentially, on the Bolter and Chainsword, you get different sort of banners that you can put in your signature. I obviously didn't have any, because I was a new member, but I thought this is great. This is a chance for me to incentivize painting and building some Black Templars, keep the enthusiasm for the army going. Not that I'm having any trouble with enthusiasm with the army, I'm actually really loving it. What it meant was I got to wear a badge on my signature that said Neophyte, so I was officially a Neophyte, and then if I completed my vow before the 31st of October, which is the Night of the Witch, then I would, if I completed it before that time, I would become an initiate, and I would get a badge that says Initiate, Nightfall 2017, which is great. And then if I failed, I'd get a bad badge that said Pledge Failed, and that would be applied to my profile, I guess. And there's a couple of other badges, like if you do really well, then you get the champion badge. And if you impress the guy who set it up, the guy who set up Nightfall, if you impress him the most, you get Marshal Elect. But I wasn't too fussed about getting the champion and the Marshal Elect. I figured I'd leave those to the more experienced, maybe more entrenched Black Templars. I am, after all, even though I may be an initiate, I still feel like a neophyte. I'm still very much a trainee Black Templar. Very much, I've only had a few training missions against the Blood Angels. I've had 3 training missions against the Blood Angels. I have yet to even face true foes of the Emperor. But that's something that will hopefully change soon. That's something we'll talk about in the future on later on in the video. So I don't know if it's been a few weeks. I don't know if I've covered this already, but basically each Nightfall event is slightly different, and it's not just a case of pick whatever you want, paint it, and complete your vow. There are criteria. So the theme of this event was transports. So any model with a transport capacity was eligible for entry. Rhinos, drop pods, storm ravens, land raiders, etc. And secondly, you may pledge a non-transport unit, but you can only pledge one non-transport unit for every transport unit that you pledge. So, for example, I couldn't pledge a Rhino and 3 squads of Crusaders. I could pledge a Rhino and a squad of Crusaders. Or I could pledge 3 Rhinos and 1 squad of Crusaders. Does that make sense? So my pledge was 1 Land Raider Crusader, because obviously I got my Land Raider Crusader that I swapped for Chaos stuff, and 1 squad of Crusaders. And a lot of people were doing, I tried to go the extra mile a little bit, because a lot of other people that were pledging Crusader squads were just pledging like 5-man Crusader squads. We're just pledging 5-man Crusader squads. But I thought, no, I will do like one of my army's Crusader squads, which I like to do 10-man Crusader squads, 5 initiates, 5 neophytes. So that's what I did. So my pledge was 1 Land Raider Crusader, 1 Crusader squad that is made up of 5 initiates and 5 neophytes. The neophytes will be armed with bolt pistol and close combat weapon, and the initiates 2 will be armed with bolt pistol and close combat weapon, 1 will be armed with the power sword, 1 will be armed with the plasma gun, and the sword brother will be armed with dual lightning claws. I will be painting up my psycho sword brother. And obviously, there's going to be some pictures rolling around now. But if you've seen the lightning claw sword at the moment, the reason why the reason I call him the psycho sword brother is because the mask that he's wearing, the sort of the head that he's got, it kind of reminds me of a mixture of the mask that Hannibal Lecter wears in Silence of the Lambs, and it also looks a bit like Bane, like a Bane mask. So he is Sword Brother Bane in my army. I'm trying to start naming some of my squads and my Sword Brothers. So I've got Sword Brother Bane, and I've got the Land Raider, which I'm thinking of calling the Emperor's Will, but I'm not sure if that's cool enough. I might have to come up with something maybe a bit more inventive. But yeah, I'm starting to do that. I haven't thought of a name for my chaplain yet. So if anyone's got any cool chaplain names that you could leave in the comments, that would be great. I'll have a look through, see if it gives me inspiration for some of my own names, or I might just use one of the names that you guys suggest. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, so that was my pledge. That's how the pledge works. That's how the vow works. And as of today, about an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago, just before this video, I completed my pledge almost 2 months early. I had until October 31st, and I have completed it on the 3rd of September. So almost 2 months early, and they're the pictures I've put up. Now I tried putting them in some sort of order, but it just didn't work out for some reason. Movie Maker was being a bit of a bitch with me. So basically, the pictures are a bit of a mix, the ones that I've put up. Some of them they're meant to be sort of a mixture of work in progress pictures on the Land Raider, and then there's some other ones of just the squad members finished. So there's some finished scouts, there's some finished initiates, there's the Sword Brother. Anyway, I quite like the Sword Brother Bane. The banner, I really wasn't sure about having a guy with a banner on his back running around, but actually when I first stuck it on, I thought that looks a bit shit. But when I actually finished the banner, I'm actually really pleased with the way it came out. The red banner with the big white cross on it I really like. The white cross, incidentally, is not a Black Templar one. You Spacing players out there probably know this. It's actually just a normal tactical squad transfer, but it's the one for the veteran squad, and I figured that's fine for me, because number one, it's quite hard to get hold of Black Templar transfers nowadays. Number two, it looks like a cross. It looks like it might not be the exact Mason cross, but it looks like a cross. And two, the Sword Brothers are veterans. He's a veteran, so him having the mark of according to the Space Marines, of a veteran, that still works. That's still absolutely fine. So there you go. I figured it worked in 3 ways. Yes. So painting the squad. Really enjoyed painting the squad, as always. Really, really enjoyed painting these Crusader squads. The little 10-man. I'm painting them in 5-man chunks. 5 Marines, 5 Neophytes. Painting them in these 5-man chunks really, really helps. What I tend to do is I do all the base coating at once, and then I do all the shoulder pads, and then after that I can just focus on 1 Marine at a time. And that's what I tend to do. With the initiates, it's a mixture of batch painting and a mixture of sort of individual fine detail painting, and I find that works really well, because I get all the boring shit of layer after layer of white done, and I normally watch like Stargate or something whilst I'm doing that. I'm rewatching a lot of Stargate at the moment, and Star Trek Voyager, of all things. Yeah, I was never a big fan of Star Trek Voyager back in the day, but it's one of those things you get like Stockholm syndrome from watching enough of it. I watched like 4 seasons, maybe not 4, exaggeration, like 2 seasons or a full season, just back to back, just episode after episode on Netflix, and I found myself really getting into it, and I was finding myself going, actually, once you get into the vibe of Star Trek Voyager, it's actually alright. It doesn't deserve the bad rap it has. Yeah, I actually really enjoy Star Trek Voyager now, so maybe I'll watch it again later and it'll be shit, but whatever. Anyway, back on topic. I mean, whilst finishing off this Land Raider Crusader, I've been watching Stargate, and I watched the original Stargate movie, and it's really good. I mean, I've watched all the Stargate TV series. I watched all of SG-1, and then all of Atlantis, and then most of Stargate Universe, but didn't quite finish Stargate Universe. It got a bit shit. It got a bit. I mean, the Stargate Universe had a lot of potential. I think it was just. Anyway, it's not a Stargate discussion, but I never actually watched the original movie that kicked it all off. So I went back and watched it whilst painting the Land Raider Crusader, and it was good. It was very good. Anyway, getting back to the actual painting side of things. I really enjoyed painting this Crusader squad. The initiates were just as they were, but I tend to find that the initiates seem to burn me out. I like to spend a lot of time on an initiate. I mean, it takes me a month to do one of these squads. To a 10-man squad, it takes me a month. I've been collecting Black Templars for coming on 2 months now. 2 or 3 months. I can't remember the exact time. And I've got 3. And if it hadn't been for this pledge pushing me on, my painting would have been a lot slower. This has really helped. It really, really helped push me along. And yeah, I've now, after 2 months, I've painted 2 or 3 months. I've painted 3 Crusader squads and the Land Raider Crusader. I still have to say, I love painting Neophytes. I don't know what it is about them. I just find them really fun and enjoyable to paint. I think it's because they remind me slightly of Guardsmen. There's not a huge amount of variation in the models, but there is enough that each one of my Neophytes is a unique model at this point. There is enough variation in them, but they're less busy. There's less fine detail. There's kind of like just the right amount of detail on them. And what it means is it's very easy to batch paint them. And that's what I tend to do. I batch paint my Neophytes from start to finish. I do all the white, all the gold, all the grey, blah, 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 blah. I don't really... I mean, if I've missed something, I do the fine detail. But there's not a lot of fine detail on them. But yeah, I just really enjoy them. Painting neophytes is very, very relaxing. Very relaxing. Painting initiates is a not a chore per se, but is a task. Whereas painting a neophyte is just nice and relaxing. Yes, so 3 Crusader squads down now. I've got my Combi Plasma Melter squad with 2 swords. I've got my Combi Melter Plasma squad with 2 swords. I've got my Lightning Claw Plasma Gun and Power Sword squad done. And I've got my Land Raider Crusader finished now. What have I purchased though? How is the Crusade coming along? I mean, remember the Crusade, the aim of the Crusade is to get to 100 Marines. That's the aim. 100 Marines with a nice variety of weapons. Well, I can say that we're getting there. We've passed the halfway point in terms of recruits. We have passed the halfway point. There is now, I now have 6 Crusader squads. So you can see I've been busy in the last 3 weeks. Big jump here. So the 4th Crusader squad is one that I've had for a while. It's just the next one on the list. You see a picture here now of the 3 Crusader squads I have finished. The 4th Crusader squad is armed with a Combi Flamer, a Power Sword, and a Power Axe. And then what I did is, remember when I said last video that I managed to get 10 scouts off eBay for only £15, and that was half price? Well, I decided to mix things up a little bit, and I purchased some Mark IV Marines for my army. Which was interesting. I figured it would be better than just having the same normal tactical Marines over and over again. There is some interesting differences between the Mark IV and Mark 8, I believe. I don't know if that's the right mark, but the regular tactical Marines, there is some differences. Some weapon differences as well. You get a heavy bolter and a missile launcher, which I wasn't aware of. But it's a lot harder to kit bash bolt pistol and chainsword from that kit. It's really weird. It's like there's only one hand for a pistol, whereas in the regular tactical marine kit you get 3 hands, 3 different arms that you could use for various pistols and chainswords, which is why I was able to custom build a couple of chainswords for my army out of, I think I had said last time, I built it out of Scion bits. So I had a Space Marine Scout arm, Space Marine Scout sword hilt plus a Scion chainsword blade, and that made a correct length chainsaw for the Space Marines. You can see that on one of the Marines I've done in these series of pictures. But yeah, so just interesting to note, yeah, the Mark IV kit, I mean, all the tactical Marine kits, they try and force you to use bolters, obviously. But the Mark IV kit really wants you to use bolters. It doesn't want you to try and make them into bolt pistol chainsword guys, which is whatever, it is what it is. It's not better or worse, it's just interesting. One thing I did notice was the power armor. It's all very, very similar. Very, very similar indeed. Yeah, it's in the current sort of in the regular tactical marine box that you can buy. The power armor varies massively. There's loads of different chest pieces, loads of different helmets. Really is more of a hodgepodge of armor. When you buy the Mark IV tactical kit, it's a lot smoother. It's a lot more uniform. This is the chainsaw I was talking about, by the way, guys. That's the kit bash one. And it's just interesting. I think it'll be easier to paint the Mark IV Marines. I don't know yet, but I think it will be easier to paint the Mark IV Marines. They just come across as a lot easier, a lot more uniform, a lot easier to batch paint. But that obviously means there is a certain lack of individuality potentially. But we don't. I have again made every single Marine unique poses, unique weapon loadouts where I can. Every squad is still a unique squad in terms of its loadout. But what have I equipped these new squads with? Well, I have gone for a double plasma, double sword squad. So I've got combi plasma, regular plasma gun, and 2 power swords. And then I've gone for an anti-tank squad. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put in this yet. But it's definitely going to have 2 power fists. They've already been built, already been put on the models. 2 power fists, 1 on the sword brother, 1 on the initiate. Even if it's not the best loadout, I know you get 1 power fist attack with initiate. I don't really care. I just see that as an extra attack for the sword brother. So I've got 3 power fist attacks coming out of that squad. But 2 power fists and a melter gun. Probably, I'm not sure what I'm going to give the sword brother. He's got a power fist. I am not sure what I'm going to put him in his other hand. Maybe a combi weapon. Maybe combi melter and go all out anti-tank. So I've got double melter, double power fist. There's quite a lot of anti-tank in one squad. The only thing that is making me reserved from doing that is the amount of points that will cost. That will be my most expensive Crusader squad to date. But it is what it is. But it would be interesting. I think I will play it as that before I fix the final final weapon option on that sword brother anyway. But yeah, that's it. So 60 Crusaders, 30 Neophytes, 30 Initiates, 30 Scouts, 30 Marines. Starting to really get that vibe. Really getting that vibe. And I think it's getting to the point now where we're going to have to start taking them out onto the field against other opponents. With that said, with that in mind, I have a battle scheduled for the 5th of September. So obviously this video is a little bit behind, but the battle report will come out sort of in the next Black Templar Friday. So it'll be basically a week behind. It's just the way that I've got a very busy week next week in terms of work. I don't see myself getting much chance to record, so I'm doing a big batch of recording today, and I'm going to release it throughout the week. So it's going to be a bit weird, like, oh, you're going to have had the battle report already, but we're not going to hear about this until next week. It's like, yeah. Anyway, hopefully it makes sense. Yes, I will have a battle. My Black Templars will be having their first proper battle. Not a training battle anymore, guys. This is the first chance that my Templars will have to draw blood. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be against the Deathcore of Krieg player that I played last time. The one that I played with my pure infantry army versus Deathcore of Krieg. He wanted to play 2,000 points. I obviously can't quite make it up to that. But I'm just going to bring every Templar I have, and I can play between 1,000 and 1,500 points. So that'll be cool. That's going to be interesting. Going to be very, very interesting. The Templars versus the Krieg. Both infantry armies, both armies that like to get into close combat. Both armies are going to have a nice mix of fire support and long range and close combat prowess. It's going to be interesting. Up until this point, my army has only been taking on other Space Marines. And they've been taking on a lot of enemy armour. You know that the Blood Angels player that I regularly play, you know how much he loves to use his armour. You know how much he loves to use those assault cannons. It's going to be interesting. I won't be facing assault cannons. I won't be facing a huge amount of armour. Probably facing a very similar list to we used last time. He's probably going to have that Leman Russ Conqueror. He's probably going to have a Hellhound artillery carriage. I'm not going to be able to deep strike it and get rid of that artillery carriage this time. I'm going to have to get there the old-fashioned way. It's going to be interesting. He's going to have a lot of Death Riders as well. Holy shit. It's going to be tough. I think my Black Templars are going to be in for a tough time. But I'm really hoping that the Land Raider Crusader will be able to help me. And I'm really hoping that the Emperor's Champion, I'll have to find a proxy model for the Emperor's Champion, but I really hope that he will also be able to pull his weight. It's going to be an interesting battle. That's all I can say. It's going to be very interesting. I cannot wait to have it. I cannot wait to report on it for you guys. And I think that's the big thing you're going to be looking forward to. You should be looking forward to for next week. Big, big thing. I'm going to go, whether I win or lose will not matter. I will learn many, many things, and I will apply that to my crusade and what units I build, what units I take. So, lots of exciting things to look forward to. In terms of painting, I might continue painting the Black Templars, or I may, because I've been really pushing it, I may take a little break from painting up Black Templars non-stop. May go back and focus on repainting my guard. I took a little break from painting Black Templars and got 5 conscripts painted up, so that's good. I've done 65 conscripts now, just another 25 to go, and then that'll be enough. I only really need about 90 to 100 for most battles. And then it will be on after I've painted the next 25 conscripts, which will probably take me a week or two. Once that's done, in terms of painting overall, it can be back to Black Templars, or it might be time to start repainting those metal Mordian Iron Guard. It's going to be interesting. Lots and lots of things to build and paint in the next few months, and it's going to be interesting. I will need to pick up the Space Marine Codex at some point, but it's going to be interesting because the new Imperial Guard Codex will be coming out soon. New Imperial Guard Codex will be coming out soon, I should say. And with the rumours of new plastic Imperial Guard models. So lots of exciting things to come up, lots of exciting Black Templar things. Cannot wait to report on how it goes with my Black Templars. I think it's going to be a hard fight, it's going to be a tough fight, but I'm hoping I'll be able to prevail. And I will see you guys next time. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave lots of comments, ideas for a name for a chaplain, ideas for names for my Land Raider Crusader, that would be great, and generally any sort of Black Templar names, of course. And of course, guys, please, this is sort of the hobbying day of the channel, so anything that you guys have been working on, any Black Templar shit, any Imperial Guard shit, just put some comments down, put some links down there, and I'll check it out. If you guys are particularly proud of some models, put it down in the comments. This is the whole point of Black Templar Fridays. It's relaxing, it's hobby, it's story time, it's just a bit of everything. It's whatever I fancy, whatever you guys fancy. So, it's just an area of free thought, basically. Ironic for the Imperium, but that is the case. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are okay with just this long stream of consciousness. And of course, I will tell you how the battle goes in the future. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time.